we have to go over Bitcoin here. As you can see, we are over 2% in the last 24 hours on Bitcoin. So that is pretty decent, I would say. But we're still inside of the same pattern. So we're gonna talk about this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but let's get straight into it. So like I mentioned before, we're still inside of this rising wedge here, bearish pattern, of course. And we're almost out of it. I think there is a possibility we can break through this to the upside, but it's about to happen soon. Within, I would say, about the next week, we should be out of this pattern, whether it be to the upside or downside. So by about next week, I would say that would be when we see this. Now, if we look over here at the weekly chart, things are gonna look like they could possibly be bullish on the weekly chart, right? Because you bring it up, you see we already had a lot of selling pressure here, so it would make sense if we got a recovery, right? Like a short-term recovery, something like that, a relief rally. It would make sense. And this percent R trend exhaustion, I've been showing this. If this curves upwards, which it looks like it wants to, but it hasn't quite done it yet. But if we see that upward curve here on the percent R trend exhaustion, we could quite possibly end up seeing a nice breakout, right? All the way up to this point. And then if we don't get rejected here, then it would continue up here to the top of this area here. And yeah, that is a possibility. I don't think it would do all that. I think it would be a short relief rally, maybe stopping a quarter way, maybe even half, somewhere around here, if it's even possible, and then getting the rejection here or getting the rejection here. I think that is a more likely scenario if we even do have a relief rally from here. Because right now, this is all part of the relief rally, right? If we continue to dump now, at that point, we are in like no man's land, right? Now we're going to really have to try hard to have a relief rally, right? That's if we end up dumping now. But if we can prolong this thing and then see like a temporary rise up here, then that would be good. That would be good. Some people could make some gains before the really bad times come. And I mentioned it before, the previous high of that last run at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025, that previous run was all the way up to 109K. So I feel like if Bitcoin passes 109K, it's back in bullish territory. It's above the previous highs of the last rally. All right. If we break down here at 75K, go 74K below, now we're officially bearish because now we're breaking the previous highs of the previous rally, right? In the middle of 2024. And that was about 74K. So there is a possibility that we could do either one of those. So those are the levels that I'm really watching out for here on Bitcoin. This is the daily chart. And this is the one thing that kind of worries me on the percent R trend exhaustion. Just the long-term trend is not doing anything. The short-term trend is kind of becoming over exhausted up here to upside. If we don't see the long-term trend starting to trend upwards as well, then we could see the short-term trend dropping and bringing that long-term trend down as well. So that is a possibility still. So it's still a possibility for us to break down here. So things are 50-50 right now. And I would say that goes for the altcoin market right now too. Because altcoins, ultimately, they're going to follow Bitcoin, right? And I feel the same way pretty much about all those. I'll do separate technical analysis on those. But I guess an unpopular opinion of mine is with Zcash, if everything goes up as planned with Bitcoin, I think Zcash tops out at like 540 and then dumps from there. And Bitcoin maybe tops out at like 109K and then dumps from there. So this is kind of how I'm looking at things here. That's why I said there's a possibility that this could do this and then dump. I've been mentioning it on all of my videos because, almost everything has a rising wedge, right? Pudgy Penguins broke out of its rising wedge. It broke out of it and broke downwards. And then Zcash, like I was just showing just now, broke to the upside of its rising wedge. So that's why I'm like, well, possibly we could see Bitcoin doing the same thing. So that's why I get the that's why I'm putting the slightly bullish tone on it, but we'll see. We'll see. Because if this thing gets rejected, it's gonna be a nasty, nasty drop. The initial one is gonna take us down to 74K. We're gonna try to break back, get back above it, get back above 86, and then from there it could continue downwards, even lower, all the way down to next support after that would be 50K. So after 74K, it's gonna be a sharp drop down to 50K. So I think a lot of people aren't ready for how bearish things can get when they get bearish. That's why I'm really on the fences about it, but I'm paying close attention, because if it starts breaking out, all right, cool. Now we're looking at 109K at least, right? But if it starts breaking down, now we're looking at 74K at least. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, I'll be back with another video.